So today, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful tools you have in your professional life, your personal brand. And look, let's forget all the buzzwords for a second. This is really about unlocking the career you've always wanted. Let's get right into it.
Let me start by asking you a really honest question. Just take a second and look at your career right now. Are the things you're achieving, are they really matching up with your ambition? If you feel like there's a gap there, you are definitely not alone.
You know, that feeling actually has a name. It's called the gap of discontent. It's that space between the career you can picture in your head, that awesome upward path, and the one you're actually living day to day. And that gap, that's where frustration starts to grow, and it's usually fueled by some very real obstacles.
So let's take a closer look at this career gap of discontent. Because really, understanding what causes this divide in the first place is the absolute first step to building a bridge over it. So what is it that makes this gap wider? Well, it's almost never just one single thing. It's usually the crushing weight of mental exhaustion, or maybe being stressed about money, or even the fallout from poor planning and personal stuff going on. Any one of these can pull your career right off track.
So the big question is, how do we close this gap, right? How do we build that bridge from where we are now to where we really, truly want to be? Well, it all starts by getting intentional. It starts by building your personal brand.
Okay, now that we've kind of diagnosed the problem, let's focus on the solution. We're going to dig into what a personal brand actually is, and more importantly, why it's such a critical tool for your career.
To put it really simply, your personal brand is what you're known for. But notice the key phrase here, ongoing process. It's not a one-time thing. It's the impression you are constantly creating in the minds of your coworkers, your clients, pretty much everyone you work with. A really strong brand acts as the foundation for your entire career. It sends a clear signal about what you stand for, it's built on the things that make you unique, we'll call those your differentiators, and it clarifies your purpose. It's basically the story of your professional life.
And that brings us to a super important part of all this, finding your differentiators. How do you actually start building this brand? Well, it all begins by looking inward, to figure out what it is that makes you stand out from the pack.
Let's just pause on this for a second. In a world that is jam-packed with talented, smart professionals, what makes you special? What are the unique skills, the unique perspectives, the unique talents that only you bring to the table?
Those special qualities, those are your differentiators. I want you to think of them as your personal career signature. It's the thing that sets you apart and makes your contribution instantly recognizable. And hey, this isn't some vague, abstract idea. We're talking about concrete skills. Maybe you're known as the go-to person for solving impossible problems. Or maybe you just have this natural gift for building strategic partnerships. Or you could be amazing at firing up a team and getting them motivated. These are all incredibly powerful differentiators.
Okay, so once you really get a handle on your differentiators, the focus shifts. It goes from internal work to external impact. Now we're going to explore how your brand actually affects the people around you. It's all about the shadow you cast.
Your brand is so much more than just a mission statement on your resume. It's an active, living force. As a leader, you cast a shadow, and believe me, the shape of that shadow influences everyone who works with you.
The integrity of that shadow, really, it all comes down to one powerful question. Are you doing the right thing even when you think no one is watching? That kind of authenticity, that's the bedrock of a strong leadership brand.
So, why does this all matter so much? Because a positive, consistent shadow gets you real, tangible results. It motivates your team to rise your standards. It acts like a magnet for attracting other high-quality people, and it strengthens every professional relationship you have. So, let's bring all these pieces together. See, building your brand isn't just about getting your next promotion or landing a new job. It's about consciously crafting the entire arc of your career. At the end of the day, it's about your brand and ultimately your legacy.
Building that legacy really comes down to 3 key steps. First, you've got to decide what you want to be known for. Those are your differentiators. Second, you have to make sure your actual work, your track record, supports those claims. And third, you have to practice talking about your brand so it just comes across as natural and authentic.
And all of this brings us to the final, and I think the most important question, and it's one that only you can answer. As you look forward at the career you want to build and the impact you want to have, what do you want to be known for?